thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Sister Cecilia Joy, a Franciscan sister Christian charity, and today we're here with Noelle Braun, who is from Casa Guadalupe in West Bend. So welcome, Noelle.
Thank you so much for having me and for the invitation.
Yes, and so with the holidays coming up, we all like to find out where we can help and how we can best serve. So I thought it'd be great to talk to Noelle Braun today about her nonprofit, Casa Guadalupe. So tell us a little about the history.
Absolutely. So Casa Guadalupe Education Center is a nonprofit in Washington County. Our mission is to be the bridge of integration to Hispanics and the communities in which they live through education and community access. So we were founded in 2006. And we became a 501c3 in 2010. And so fast forward, I started as the director in 2012. And here we are, just continuing to grow year after year. It was founded by an educator in our community named Mary Lynn Bennett and Father Rafael Rodriguez, who is now serving in his ministry in Milwaukee. So the reason that Casa came to existence was really the vision and just recognizing how our community was changing in Washington County and how many more people of Hispanic Latino background were moving to Washington County. It has increased just exponentially here in our community as well as nationwide, right? So it's certainly we see that reflected in our community. I would say in the early 90s, there were about 670 people, according to census data, who identified as Hispanic Latino in Washington County. And now, according to 2020 census data, there are well over 4,400 that identify. So again, it has grown. Mary Lynn saw that growth in the mid 90s actually, and she belonged to a local Catholic church, St. Francis Cabrini. And she requested, after noticing that, there are individuals, particularly from Mexico at the time who were moving here, she asked the church, how can we be more welcoming? Can we offer English classes? I'm an educator. And so they started teaching English classes at St. Francis Cabrini. Then it grew so much that there was a need for Hispanic ministry. And so Father Rafael Rodriguez joined and they started Casa. We were under the umbrella of the Archdiocese of Milwaukee for those first 4 years. And now again, we are a 501c3. We still have a very good relationship with the local Catholic churches. Right now, our current location for the last couple of years, we moved to a new building, new to us, but it was the original convent at St. Mary's Immaculate Conception here in West Bend. And it just worked out so well. When we were needing space, we reached out to Father Nathan Reisman, and they still have a Spanish Mass at St. Mary's on Sundays at noon. And they just saw what a great win-win this could be because the building wasn't being used at the time. Father Nathan said we could paint however we wanted, make it bright and colorful and welcoming. So that's just a quick history of Casa Guadalupe. And we are just really feel fortunate that we are in Washington County. We're the only nonprofit organization that does specifically what we do, to particularly work with the Spanish-speaking community, many of whom are immigrants who have recently moved here, whether they moved here, I should say, like 15 years ago or have recently arrived. Like we are here, some of the families we work with definitely have had their children here, raising their families in the Washington County community. And with that, as I mentioned, programs have grown.
Yeah, so talk a little about the programs. What do you all do? I'm sure you do English classes, but is there anything else that's really fun that you do?
Yes, so we definitely have continued with English classes. I do also want to mention Moraine Park Technical College in our community is another wonderful resource. Sometimes we'll have clients, if they're available, they'll take advantage of both locations for English. But we provide our English classes in West Bend and Hartford. That is where the largest communities of the Hispanic Latino population are living in Washington County. But we certainly have clients that live all over in like smaller communities too within the county. But we offer our programs primarily in West Bend and Hartford, a little bit in Kewaskum too for more youth programs. But outside of English classes for adults, We also offer citizenship classes. We have volunteers that get trained on how to assist eligible individuals who are, again, eligible to study to become a citizen through the naturalization process. So we do that. We collaborate with many, many businesses and organizations. So we'll provide financial literacy, for instance, through a local credit union. We do community bridge building seminars, we call them, where we bring in different resources to the community, whether it's a local nonprofit or, again, a business that is there to help. And we are always doing our best to connect people with the right resources. So individuals will come to us for a variety of needs. If we can help them right away, great. If we're not the location, but we know of a place where they can get the resource, that's what we will do, is like make that connection, be that bridge for them. And yes, let's see. We also recently started Spanish classes for adults. So this is for non-Hispanic Latino individuals in our community who want to brush up on their Spanish, or maybe if they're working in a specific field, like early next year, we're going to do a class for first responders and people who work in the medical field. We've also provided classes for individuals who work in a manufacturing company and have a lot of Spanish-speaking employees and want to be able to better communicate, certain things job related. So really happy when that comes together and we can help in that way. We do youth programming as well. So we work a lot with kids because, again, like I would say it's like half and half with on an annual basis with the individuals that we serve. With the youth, what we're doing is we started providing a program 10 years ago called Read to Succeed. And that was in one elementary school at the time in West Bend. And it is working with Hispanic Latino children, kindergarten through fourth grade, on their reading and comprehension skills and some homework as well. And it's focused on English reading. And the majority of the students that are in the program have at least one, if not both parents at home, where Spanish is their first language. So that's spoken primarily in the home. So it all came together where we were able to collaborate with the school district, the English language learner teachers, the parents, and just provide this wraparound service. So it's an after-school reading program. It has expanded since. Now we still offer it in West Bend. Ever since COVID, we've actually been offering it in the gymnasium at St. Mary's right next door to us, which has allowed for a larger space, social distancing, all of that. And so we work with a group of students from the variety of West Bend elementary schools. And this is the first year that we have had the door open to an elementary school in Hartford, Lincoln Elementary. So we are really excited to collaborate with Lincoln and Rossman Elementary. We have some students coming from there too that are transported, but that's, we did have a form of our Read to Succeed program in Hartford for some years, but we did it because parents were bringing their kids during English classes, and there was certain years where there were a lot of kids coming, and we just wanted to make it some productive time for the kids too, besides playtime. So, but now we're actually in the school in a library. So that's really great. We also in 2015 started a program called Dream to Succeed. And Dream to Succeed is a college life and career readiness program for Hispanic Latino students that are in high school. And it's a voluntary program. But we started with a pilot program in West Bend and with 25 students. And now we work with well over 100, I would say maybe 120 students now in West Bend, Hartford, and Kewaskum. So we're really excited to see that grow. One of my coworkers, Maria Gutierrez Gorola, is the coordinator of our youth programs. And since she has been working with us for the past 4 years, we've really, really seen, especially that Dream to Succeed program grow. And it's exciting because we're able to work with the students and again, provide like this kind of like wraparound support for them. Maria can identify with them, can help them out. She's got a lot of experience in higher education. So our focus is meeting with these students that are about a couple times a month in the high schools, and then also doing some one-on-one depending on what their needs are. But we're talking to these students about success in high school, always encouraging high school graduation. That is a huge goal of ours as the students go through this program. Want to see them graduate from high school.